Hey guys, God bless. Welcome back to Twist and Shout. And of course, I'm Shar. And welcome to another episode of Woman to Woman. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I told y'all these gonna be kind of off script and, off the dome. And I was just sitting there. I just put Jace down. I said, let me come do a video. So here I am. And I was just sitting here. I done click, pause, play. I don't know how many times. I'm like, okay, we gotta talk about something. But I think I want to piggyback off of my live conversation. I mentioned to you guys how dominant mental health issues are in my family, and they range from social to behavioral. So we have some people they running back and forth off the spectrum. We have some people that are severely socially awkward, and then we have people that have severe behavior issues. And it got to a point when I was growing up that it was like known, like those are those people. And I mean, it was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing because automatically people assume that one fits all. Like if that person has this, something's wrong with you. And my own siblings, they have like speech therapists and all those things. And, I must admit I had to repent because I used to join in on a crowd to seem normal, I guess, to, make sure the light doesn't ever get shone on me, like something's wrong with me. And like I said, it wasn't until I got grown, I was like, yo, I was a jerk. I was a jerk. Like I was very inconsiderate. I was very disrespectful to my own siblings because something was wrong with them, like it was their fault. And because the world gave the impression that it's okay to belittle them. And it wasn't until, like I said, I started really getting into the Word of God, getting to know Christ myself, that I understood that, whoa. Like when you go to Matthew 6 and, you read, blessed are these, blessed are those, and it's like, whoa, wait. That doesn't sound like somebody who has it all together, right? That doesn't sound like somebody who's normal, who has the perfect job, perfect spouse, perfect house, perfect pets, perfect hobbies. Like that sounds like people who are on the streets, drug addicts, homeless, mental problems, like social. That sounds like the people who actually has problems of concern, not people that are considered normal. So it made me, regroup and rethink about my mentality towards individuals such as this. And let me tell you how good God is. God does things full circle, right? Okay, like I said, we growing up with my sister and stuff, and I used to just kind of push them to the side, like, oh, something's wrong with you. You're not acting normal. You're not talking normal. You don't sound normal. You're doing awkward, random things. And in my mind, I was telling myself and trying to convince myself that they could help themselves. And the reality of it is, they cannot. And now that I know better, I kind of feel like an advocate for those people. And you may say, wait a minute, whoa, you used to pick on them. I did. But let's go back a little. Now, I thought I was higher than my sisters and brothers, so I attacked them. But meanwhile, at school, I was being attacked. And I wasn't being attacked because I talked funny or because I was slow, but because it was known that I was poor and I had this family. So, like kids do, oh, you can't afford, your sneakers ain't got no name brand on it, your check marks back, just foolish stuff. And some things, were, wow, somebody would have told me better, I would have done better, like my hair or putting lotion on. But there are some things that we really couldn't help. Like the type of style of clothes and stuff we got all came from like Goodwill and stuff. So we didn't have a choice. It was what was given to us, Salvation Army. So, but I was being teased for those things, and then I used to come home and attack them. So I am a perfect person to talk about like the bully victim type situation because I've been on both sides of the spectrum, and I truly understand the psychological breakdown of sometimes people just do what happens to them. Like, I can't take it out on my own mom and dad, but I take it off on my siblings. I can't take it off on my siblings because of my mom and dad, so I come to school and take it off on my classmates. Like, it becomes a cycle. But I just want to do a mental health check-in. Like, where do you stand? How do you feel about these things? Were you ever bullied? Are you bold enough to say that you were the bully? Because I am. Like, I used to be a bully to my siblings. And the biblical teaching is you reap what you sow. Not karma, because karma is not of Christianity. Karma is Hinduism or something, or Buddhism. It is not Christianity. We are not to use that word. But we do reap what we sow. And I can say, as an adult, I literally have people that tease me for the most, or maybe they, like, literally it's this crazy because I've come from this situation. I've kind of already kind of guarded myself towards not doing certain things to draw attention to me because I learned from their mistakes, which is good and bad. But people still find some, ways to kind of say, look at that. Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm dealing with spiritual warfare too. So, of course, the demons and others recognize the God in me, and they're roaring and they're trying to get my attention, trying to get me off track. But there are some incidents where I'm like, I feel like I'm being teased. And it could very well be my reaping, from what I sown. And I just want to talk to you guys, like, woman to woman. Have you ever been in a situation where you're just like, dog, somebody's like just really picking on me? Or you really just set yourself down one time and say, hey, you were the mean girl. You were the rude one. You were the disrespectful one. And we as Christians, like I said, because my woman to woman is not just catered to Christians on my channel, but I want to talk to everybody. We as Christians know that being a Christian automatically puts you in some type of victimized situation or circumstances, whether it be in the church, on your job, in your family. Like, you're always going to be the odd piece out. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of built myself about that. But on the same token, I come from a family that supposedly were all Christians. And that still was black sheep situations, picking, teasing, taunting within the family. And like I said, even myself. But I think we need to do a better job at projecting that getting a mental evaluation is okay. Talking to a therapist is okay. Admitting that you're not okay is okay. Like, these are things that just come to my mind. Like, I just sit here and think, and I'm like, when did we get to a point where, because, it used to be, this person ain't trying to get help. You on drugs. You a prostitute. You're promiscuous. You got this addiction to sex. You got this addiction to porn, and yada, yada, yada. Like, we're this generation that say, these are problems. But we're the same generation that say, you're an idiot for trying to go get help for your problems. And I feel like that is so messed up. Like, okay, what are you supposed to do? And that just goes to show, if you do what pleases man, you get nowhere. This is why you have to take your problems to God and let him figure things out for you. And then you follow his lead. But again, that's, Christian talk. I'm sorry. But the reality of it is, if there's a problem, it needs to be fixed. And you either live your life guessing and speculating, like, okay, if this person found out I want a therapist, what would they think of me? If they found out I got an emotional, a supportive pet, what would they say? If they find out that I have been declared schizophrenia, bipolar, or whatever, maybe I can't talk no more, maybe people judge me, maybe people unsubscribe, like whatever, maybe people stop talking to me at work, or maybe they'll tell me I can't do my job. Like, these kind of fears and strongholds will keep you from getting to the point where you actually get help and you start getting better. Now, again, because my faith is Christianity, I know that nothing can be done without God. I also know that God will order your steps and set the foundation for you if you just trust him. So, yes, he is there to hear our problems and things, but depending on your situation or circumstances, you may actually need to talk to someone. And you may say, well, a Christian counselor, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if I have a problem with my car, I go to a mechanic. If I have a problem with my body, I go to a doctor. And none of these things are unbiblical. Like, that's what they're there for. That's their specialty. And the same thing with a shrink, a therapist, a psychology. Like, their specialty is to figure out what the issue is. Now, they may come up with a worldly resolution, but sometimes as Christian people, as people in general, it's just a matter of someone saying, hey, we found out the problem. It's here. And then it's up to you to say, okay, now that I know what the problem is, how can I go about fixing it? You know what I'm saying? So if you're okay and comfortable, drop it down below. Like, do you feel like you have an issue with being bullied or being mistreated? Do you feel like you ever was a bully in a situation? Do you feel like there's a mental or psychological concern in your family? Like, I don't know if y'all watch Ayanna Fits My Life. For whatever reason, my husband is kind of like, I don't believe in what she's doing, which I kind of like. Out of all the things that me and him kind of disagree on, that one I'm just like, I find it very interesting that a male finds fault in what's going on her show. Now, some people may say because she professes to be a Christian and sometimes she used profanity and stuff and, you know, all this stuff, but I just be looking like, you mean to tell me you go your whole life and you don't ever curse? And you may say, well, on TV it's different. But I'm just saying, we be that anal and technical about stuff. Nobody should be doing anything. Like, think about all the ministers and pastors that even, what's the minister that died, I think, like 2 months ago? And now it's coming out that he was like a womanizer in his congregation. Just imagine if we knew that while he was here, they would dismiss him. But his teachings are biblical. Like, you can't take that away from him. But anyway, with Ayanna Fits My Life, right? She, you know, she used like this therapeutic psychology type thing to kind of get people to get to the root of the problem and move towards resolution. Me, I don't see nothing wrong with what she does at all. And I feel like she has helped a whole lot of people, but that just proves my point that sometimes you need the mediator to say, this is what's going on. You may not see it. You may not see it this way. Or I got your side of the story. I got your side of the story. And here's the truth. And, you know, provide some type of resolution. And I'm, like I was saying before I was interrupted by a phone call from my mom. Y'all, she just, since they've been quarantined, she been, But anyway, so like I was saying, with Ayanna Fits My Life, I feel like there's nothing wrong with seeking help. And even one of the arguments that my husband tried to say was, you know, you supposed to seek God. I'm like, I could say the same thing with you in medicine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because people can see one way and they can't see the other. And it's like, it's the same principle. Like, just like how me personally, before I go sit in a doctor's office and get doped up on some medicine, I'm going to pray. Unless, like I said, because my thing is you use wisdom and common sense too. Like, if you know something would aid and better you, yes. If you know something's unnecessary, no. Like, for example, they were going to prescribe me on anxiety pills because I had a panic attack. And I was like, you know what? It does not happen that often for me to sit down and pop a pill, especially if one of the side effects of the pill is depression. You get what I'm saying? However, if I have acid reflux, which I do, and I know that this pill will help the situation, then I'm going to take a pill. But only when necessary. And I feel like even with the therapist and the psychiatrist, like, if it's necessary, if it's deemed necessary, then why not? Tell me what you guys think, though. Do you think your faith should triumph over going to a man for advice or resolving your problems? Do you think there's a middle? What do you think God frowns upon? What do you think is acceptable? And again, if you have an own personal situation or something you would like to discuss or help someone down below, drop it down below. Don't pollute. Keep it cute. I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.